This recipe is an Indonesian street food delicacy which is called a Perkedel Kentang and is part of the hashtag Indonesian food collab. So check out that hashtag for all delicious Indonesian food. These Indonesian style meat and potato croquettes are my new favorite snack and it's absolutely incredible. If you've been following my recipes for a couple of weeks, then you've noticed that I love doing things with potatoes and meat, and when potatoes and meat come together, magic is created, just like this Indonesian street food classic, Perkedel Kentang, and I'm so excited to get these together. See, there's an Indian version of this dish, a croquette, which is made with potatoes and sliced bread, called aloo cutlet. I think the recipe is on my website, I'll link it down below, but this with meat, it's gonna be good. Now we'll be kind of deep frying these potatoes because when we cook it like that, it's gonna ensure that it has the least amount of moisture. Technically, you could also try to steam them. The oil's hot, add the potatoes in, and cook about 4 to 5 minutes until they are tender. Try to be careful not to overcrowd that pan though. Now while that's going on, my cast iron is nice and hot. Time to cook the meat. So this over here is a mix of pork and beef. You want to break this up into much smaller chunks. And as that starts to brown, add in your onions, your shallots, your garlic, salt, and the white pepper. Just cook this all out until the meat is nicely brown and the onions and all these veggies have been cooked up. Now I'm using a mix of pork and beef, but you can use just beef. I've also seen variations of this dish made with tofu to turn this into a vegan version. In the meanwhile, our first batch of potatoes are ready to go. Go ahead and finish cooking the next batch and we're almost done with the prep part. I'm going to turn off the gas for the meat here and then finish it off with some freshly grated nutmeg. Simple, fragrant, delicious mixture of meat. And as that got ready, so did our last batch of potatoes. Looking perfect. Now make sure you've patted them dry as much as you can and then add them all to a bowl. Now just grab a masher and just work away. Get it as mashed as you can. See, you're not gonna get much of the moisture that you get when you boil the potatoes. It's a much drier mix which will help to keep the perkedels, the meat croquettes, together as they fry. Just the smell of the potatoes that were kind of fried is already adding so much flavor to this mix, and it's just potatoes right now. You can also try to steam the potatoes instead of boiling it or frying it. You will save on the calories, and steaming it actually helps to make sure that there's not that much moisture in the potatoes compared to boiling. The Instant Pot actually works great to get this exact texture. And once your beef mixture is done, add that right in to that potato mixture that we just mashed. And just to help bind everything, add 1 egg and then give it all a really thorough mix. This mixture right here looks super enticing. Taste it and adjust for salt. And technically now you can take this mixture, let it cool down for a couple of minutes and then form it into patties, dip it in the egg, dip it in tapioca starch and start frying. What's gonna work even better is if you let it cool down completely for a couple of hours. The potatoes will be much less likely to break apart then. That's exactly what I'm gonna be doing. So while it's gonna be a couple hours for me, I'll be right back. So once you've let it cool down, it's just a matter of taking this mix and turning them into these cutlets, which are roughly going to be about 2 centimeters in thickness. And then once you have everything kind of balled up, then it's a process of getting each piece, adding it in the egg, just coating it very lightly, letting the excess drip as you then add it to the tapioca starch. Make sure it's not a thick coating, it should be a thin coating. The egg kind of helps with that, and the egg is actually the traditional way of coating these perkedels. So just fry it. Make sure the oil is not smoking too hot. Make sure you give these perkedels, these croquettes, a turn once the first side is getting nice golden brown, kind of like this, and then cook the other side as well. A good way to serve these perkedel dagings is with a mayo that's made with sambal oleg, or you can even put this between some buns, almost like having an Indian style vada pav, but in this case the patty is made with potato, meat, and tapioca flour. This is exactly why I love stepping outside of my comfort zone and try new things. But if you want another dish that's exotic like this Indonesian style perkedel daging, then check out my South African style vet cooks. That's definitely gonna blow your mind because that's another great combination of potatoes with bread and meat.